Am I the asshole for threatening to divorce my wife if she refuses to change our infant daughter's name to one we actually agreed on? I missed the birth of my first child. Not because of an emergency. Not because I didn't want to be there. But because my wife secretly named our daughter something we explicitly agreed she wouldn't. If you like Reddit stories that make your jaw drop, follow my account for more. My wife, 32, and I met in university at an anime convention. We didn't start dating until a few years later, but being nerds and loving fandoms has always been a core part of our relationship. We've been married for 6 years. After buying a house, we started trying for a baby. It took longer than expected, so during that time we made 2 lists of baby names together. My wife really wanted to name our child after a fandom we love. I agreed a reference could be cute, but I was very clear that I wanted it to be subtle. I did not want our child to have a name that was obviously tied to a specific fandom or character. She told me she understood. When she got pregnant, everything changed. Once we found out we were having a girl, she became completely fixated on one name, Vriska from Homestuck. I said no, repeatedly. I explained it was exactly what I had said I wasn't comfortable with. She argued that fandoms are part of our love story and that the name was meaningful to her. For an entire month, she refused to discuss any other names, including alternatives from the same fandom. Eventually, we had a very emotional conversation and reached what I thought was a real compromise. She could choose the name, but it had to come from the list we had already written together, which included several subtle references we both liked. I thought it was settled. Early in her third trimester, her mom offered to throw a baby shower. Our daughter would be the first girl of this generation in her family, so everyone was excited. Everything was fine, until we opened gifts from her immediate family. Her mom gave us onesies with Vriska printed across the front. Her brother gave us a wooden nursery plaque with Vriska burned into it. I didn't say anything in front of everyone, but once we got home, I confronted my wife and reminded her that we had agreed not to use that name. She exploded. Screaming, crying, accusing me of being ashamed of our hobbies, accusing me of trying to control her. I tried to calm her down while still holding my boundary. After about 20 minutes I firmly said, "We are not naming our daughter that." That's when she grabbed my arm and dug her nails into my skin while screaming. She has never been physically aggressive with me before. She then grabbed the onesies, went out onto the front patio, and called her family. She stayed on the phone while her mother drove over and screamed if I tried to follow. She left. She wouldn't answer my calls. She wouldn't open the door when I went to see her. Shortly after, she was induced at the hospital at 33 weeks. I missed the birth of my first child. After the birth, she tried to come back home. I told her we would need both couples counseling and individual therapy before anything else. Then I asked her one question. "Did you name our daughter Vriska?" She said yes. I told her to leave. I told her that while many things could be repaired, if she refused to change our daughter's name to something we had actually discussed and agreed on, I would file for divorce and fight for custody. Now both her family and most of mine say I'm being unreasonable. They say I can just call the baby by her middle name. My sister says I should never put conditions on starting therapy. But every time I look at my daughter, I don't just see a name. I see betrayal, manipulation, and a decision that erased me from one of the most important moments of my life. So tell me,